All right, hey everyone, go ahead and grab your coffee, get comfy, because today we're going to do a full anatomy of a book. And I'm telling you, this one will wreck you in the best way possible. It's this wild ride through 19th century Russia that honestly feels more like a crazy reality TV show. Hey, before we dive in, I've got a question for you. Seriously, think about this. Can a truly good person, someone who is just purely sincere and compassionate, can they actually survive in a world like ours? A world that's, let's be honest, pretty cynical, manipulative, and kind of obsessed with money and power. Just let that simmer for a second. So, that question? Well, the book that just dives headfirst into it is Fyodor Dostoevsky's masterpiece, The Idiot. And at the very heart of it all is one of the most unforgettable characters you will ever read about, Prince Lev Nikolaevich Mishkin. So get this. Our hero, Prince Mishkin, is just coming back to Russia after spending years in a Swiss sanatorium where he was being treated for epilepsy. So right off the bat, he's a total outsider. And he's just so kind, so trusting, with absolutely no hidden agenda. His goodness is so radical, so pure, that the people he meets are completely thrown off. They literally have no idea what to make of him. So you guessed it, they just call him an idiot. And where does this perfectly good man land? Oh, just straight into the viper's nest of St. Petersburg high society. We're talking a world fueled by social climbing, backstabbing, and just stuff. So much materialism. You can feel that tension building already, can't you? It's like this massive clash of values, and you just get this feeling in your gut that this is not going to end well. So, on the train ride into the city, Mushkin meets his total opposite, this guy Parfin Rogojin, and boom, right there, the central conflict of the whole novel is set. Think of it like this. Mushkin is all about this spiritual, almost Christ-like goodness, but Rogojin, he's pure earthly, all-consuming passion. He's impulsive, aggressive, and totally obsessed with money and a woman he feels he has to own. They're just two forces of nature, and they're on a collision course. And what are these two forces of nature about to collide over? Well, at the center of this whole hurricane are two absolutely unforgettable women. First, you've got the tragic and rebellious Nastasia Filipovna. She's famous for her beauty, but is just completely tormented by her past. And then there's the proud, super witty, and virtuous Aglaya Panchin. So it's not even a love triangle, it's more like a love quadrangle, and that becomes the engine for all the drama to come. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Dostoevsky sounds a little dry, maybe, philosophical. No, no, no. Do not think for a second that this is just some stuffy old book. It is absolutely overflowing with scandal, with drama, and with some of the most intense scenes you will ever read. I'm serious. It makes some of today's high-stakes dramas look like a walk in the park. Okay, so we have to talk about it. We just have to break down the most famous scene in the entire book. But I gotta give you a heads up. Major spoiler alert, seriously big spoilers ahead. So if you haven't read it, maybe hit pause, but honestly, you're still gonna wanna hear this. Trust me. Okay, so picture this. It's Nastasia Filipovna's birthday party. The whole thing is a sham. She's basically being forced into a marriage she doesn't want, and the room is just packed with these cynical, awful people. And then in walks our prince, Prince Mishkin, and he's the only one who treats her with actual, genuine respect and compassion. He sees her, not an object to be used, and for Nastasia, who has been treated like property by men her entire life, this is a total revelation. It's when she says that incredible line, "I have seen a man for the first time in my life." Ugh, it just gives you chills. But just when you think you've caught your breath, the drama just explodes. Rogojin crashes the party. He's drunk, he's wild, and he slams this package down on the table. Inside, 100,000 rubles. He's literally trying to buy Nastasia, to outbid the guy she's supposed to marry. You can just imagine the energy in that room. It becomes electric with this raw, ugly, transactional greed. The whole scene is just pure chaos. I mean, it starts with this twisted party game where everyone has to confess the worst thing they've ever done. Then Mishkin, in this unbelievable act of pure compassion, offers to marry Nastasia himself, just to save her from all of this. But Nastasia, she takes back control in the most epic way possible. She grabs that huge sack of cash and throws it right into the fireplace. She tells another guy he can have it all if he's willing to pull it out with his bare hands. It's this incredible moment of defiance, just her completely rejecting a society that thinks a person's soul can be bought and sold. Wow. So that incredible scene, it's not just there for shock value. As absolutely wild as the plot gets, Dostoevsky is using every single moment to dig into some of the biggest questions there are about what it means to be human. This book goes so much deeper than just a messy love triangle. It's really about the very fabric of our souls. And this is where the book really becomes a deep dive into our own lives, right? It's asking things like, what happens when pure, unselfish goodness comes up against a totally cynical world? Can love actually save us, or is obsession just bound to destroy us? And maybe most importantly, in a world that can feel so meaningless sometimes, how on earth do we find faith, or even just authenticity? I mean, these are the questions we are still asking ourselves every day. It all kind of circles back to this one line from the book that has always stuck with me. Beauty is a riddle. Throughout the whole story, you're forced to ask yourself, what is real beauty? Is it Nastasia's stunning physical beauty, which ends up causing so much pain and destruction? Or is it Mishkin's inner beauty, his compassion, something so pure that society literally can't understand it? It seems to be saying that the things we find most beautiful are also the most mysterious. And yeah, sometimes the most dangerous. So, okay. Why does a 19th century Russian novel that's filled with dramatic princes and scandalous parties, why does it still matter so much today? Like, why should you care? Here's why. Because Mishkin's story holds up a mirror to us. It forces us to take a hard look at our own world. How do we treat genuine kindness? When we see it, do we think it's a strength or a weakness? When someone is just being honest and sincere, do we welcome that, or do we kind of dismiss them, label them as naive, as an idiot? It's a really uncomfortable question, but it's one we absolutely need to ask.
In the end, the big takeaway here isn't some easy, neat answer. It's actually a powerful challenge. Look, life is messy. People are complicated. The world is often a chaotic and confusing place. We all know that. But what this novel suggests is that the most courageous, the most meaningful way to respond to all that complexity is with simple, radical compassion. It's basically a call to lead with empathy, especially when it's the hardest thing to do.
Honestly, The Idiot is it's beautiful, it's heartbreaking, and it's so profound. It's one of those books that's going to stick with you long after you finish that last page. It's an absolute must-read. But I really want to know what you think. Have you read it? What was your take? Did you find Mushkin to be this beautiful soul, or was he just kind of frustrating? Let me know everything down in the comments below. Thanks so much for hanging out with me.